Aloha, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Let's Play Dark Souls with yours truly, me, Delicate Blood. Alright, so here is the depths, and this is a video that I wanted to make by itself because it is going to be a long video. So without further ado, we are going to descend. Once you cross this little doorway, you can actually already be invaded. Okay, sorry, it got really quiet for a second. So be careful because this is actually kind of a high PvP area. A lot of people, like specifically griefers, will want to try to kill you. So he's going to attack us while we're on the stairs, and if you can see, there's now a guy to our right who's also trying to already kill us. There it is, the depths. So this guy from the right is showing us that over here there is a cute little treasure stowed away. So large soul, the nameless soldier. So let's move on. And I can't believe I've already taken enough damage that I wish to heal. This armor set is actually no longer working out, so we're going to switch over to chainmail, and yeah, that should be a bit better. I just need to stop taking... Oh, goodness. Oh, good thing I healed. Jeez, that could have been a lot worse. So we're going to come down here, and we're actually just going to jump off the stairwell. Because, as you can see, when you're up on that stairway, you'll survey the room, and it is just filled with dreglings. And over here... What? Why did he aggro me? Alright, well that's really disappointing. Potentially bad. He's not supposed to aggro you until you go downstairs. And now there's a dregling over there that's aggroing me. That's so strange. Alright, I need to start making some quick work out of enemies. So excuse me while I get a little bit boring here. Now, this table right here, you're noticing that I'm not destroying it. There's a reason, is that it kites the enemies, because their auto AI will wrap them around the table instead of coming straight at you. So we'll come over here, keep surveying the room, and you'll notice that there is another guy hidden behind this pillar. So that clears out this room, and now I'm actually kind of nervous to go downstairs, because that guy should be coming up here at any moment to kill us. But there's a dog, and I've always seen the dog every time. I mean, it's kind of like a Dark Souls, Demon Souls thing. You don't go charging around aimlessly. But here he is. There we go. And he'll come up to play. Now, this guy, I call them butchers, obviously, because they have that giant butcher stick in the right hand. But that right there, whatever he's using in his left hand, will knock you down to the ground. However, you can still backstab these enemies. You can still parry these enemies. But as you can see, you can't knock them back, so don't count on a knockback effect. But all in all, they're not too difficult. Now, this sword is putting out massive damage. Right there you can see it's doing 220. And then it's getting another additional 57, so it's doing 277 damage. So, yes, that's going to make them look a lot easier. That is not a difficult enemy, though. You should be able to just circle strafe around most of them. I feel bad that I'm playing with this sword, but normally he'll stay there, and then what you do is you'll see the dog, and you'll be like, oh, I'm going to go kill the dog. And that's what the dog will do. The dog will jump over, and that releases the butcher. Or the butcher will destroy his own table to get to you. And what are they guarding that's so valuable? A large ember. This will allow us to upgrade weapons like the Uchikatana up to plus 10. So we're going to go this way, and there's certain things that I'm doing intentionally that people might be screaming or going to make comments about. I would encourage you to watch the video. Alright, so this room is going to be the first room that you encounter where, notice that I'm walking really slow. this is where if you put on the rusted iron ring, I didn't mean to do that. But now I can move around just as swiftly as the enemy can in the water. Yay, and I finally got an extra humanity. That's actually good, because there is a bonfire in this area that I do want to kindle. Although, actually, since I'm not going to be invaded, I guess I don't have to worry about it too much. Oop, dead body in the corner.
You. Yes, you. Here, over here. Please, you must help me.
Are you serious?
Oh, there you are. You must help me. Or else she'll have me for lunch. You're my only hope. Oh, please. Oh, there you are. You must help me.
So all you have to do is free him. Not a very difficult thing. I recommend rolling. It's probably your safest way of freeing him without attacking him.
Thank you. I would have been a supper without you. Been eaten alive. I shudder to think. Thank you. Thank you dearly. I am Laurentius, of the Great Swamp. I will not forget my debt to you.
Do I have your word?
Oh, hello there. I'm fine, thanks to you.
Oh, that's very amiable.
Oh, hello.
Alright, I could have sworn that he says, like, oh, okay, I'm fine, don't worry about me. I have my thing, and yeah, whatever. Alright, so we're just going to move on. Now, what I always found weird is that there's this long hallway, and there is nothing. Nothing at all here. Except if you listen carefully, oh my god! Oh my god! So, yes, I love this game. I love it to death. And I know this is a little bit boring to watch, but no offense. It's an easy kill combo, so I'm going to exploit it. And we get a sack. What does a sack do? You put it on your head. Now I am appropriate to be... I'm going to switch back over to the Gargoyle Helm +2. And for those of you who are wondering where he's at, and how he snuck up on me, he's up there. He is up here sitting on this ledge, which you can see from a few places. You can see it from the dining room if you look around. And by the dining room, I mean the hall where all those dreglings were that I said to kite them around the tables. And the very first item that I showed you in this area is... it's up here. And you can't really see the item area because obviously these planks are in the way. But you can see clearly across at where that butcher is standing. And he's just perched up on a little corner here. And Dark Souls, I'm really sorry to say this to you. Why? Why that when you go this way, he jumps down? It would have been so much more epic that as you run in here, he just, like, you know, when you cross this threshold, if he would jump down. Because obviously when somebody walks into this room, they're going to explore the room, they're going to hear him talking, and they're going to want to listen to it. And you could have this giant butcher attacking you in the backside. But no. No, instead, you know where he auto-programmed jumps down? When you're here. When you're right about here, he'll jump down. If you rewatch my video, watch that when I walk through this hallway, you'll hear a grunt of him roaring and jumping down after me. But yeah, if you're not paying attention, and he actually did nearly kill me the first time. He got me right here. I opened up the door and he hit me in the back and was just like, oh my god, where'd you come from? But let's venture forth. So there's an item down over here. Oh! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! What the heck is eating me alive? I'm sorry, guys. I had to. I was not expecting that to kill me. I thought I had enough armor to resist that, but I guess not. Okay, I will I will regrettably, I will meet you back down there, so see you in a second. And welcome back. Alright, so let's do this again without the me being silly. Alright, so up here, you can see, past my shining aura, there is a little blob thing there. Now, these things will fall down at you once you get within a certain distance of them. So there you go. He falls down. And actually, this guy was supposed to come in and kill me. He's what I was actually expecting to, jump in. And now here we find our first physically resistant enemy. No matter how much you pound on this thing, those things don't take a whole lot of damage. So be very careful about them. But that treats you to a new enemy where you spend the whole rest of the game walking around, looking at the ceiling. And I feel bad, great concept, but they must never use that enemy again. Except for in this room. In this room, there's about 6 or 7 of these guys. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to switch over to a weapon that's going to be more effective. Now, my Uchi Katana is a slashing weapon as well as a piercing weapon. They are not what is more effective in this area. No. Jesus. This charcoal pine resin is what we want to use. So we're going to flame enchant our sword, and we're going to go to town on these things. Now these things are actually quite annoying because as you kill them, they're going to puff up, which is also their attack animation, which makes things really confusing for fighting them. So what I would recommend is go on the defensive here. Just let them come to you, but fire enchanted weapons will kill them exceedingly fast. That is what you want to kill them. Now, this door is normally locked, but because I have the master key, it's going to let me in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until I actually get the item before unlocking that door. Plus, now there's rats. And as you can see, my charcoal pine resin already wore off. But rats can, you can farm them for humanity. I think I've said that before, but now there's my proof. As well as, something else I didn't get to mention, is that last, slime enemies, those do respawn. However, they drop an amazing item. It's a upgrade stone. So if you're hurting for an upgrade stone, if I get one of them to drop it, I'll put a little, record anecdote on, and we will... Oh my gosh, it's a rat! So, I love this zone. This zone is all sorts of full of areas like this where traps are set up for you everywhere. And for some reason, it never repeats. Oh my goodness, what the hell? That is a giant rat. Alright, so if anybody's wondering also what these little slime things are, they're just obstacles. I really don't know what their purpose is. But they just serve as a physical obstacle. When they break open, they bleed. So here, we could go down that way, which we don't want to do just yet. We're going to come over this way first. And we found our first fog gate, so let's plow on through. Now again, here's one of the better traps. So here we have 3 rats, and we have a Chancellor who's going to do his little dance, which is going to empower these rats with a blue aura. So what I encourage you to do is lure them onto the high ground. Oh, that could be very bad. And I barely blocked that in time. But lure them onto the high ground, and wow, one hit. I will take it. Now, the Chancellor's not always that aggressive. Sometimes he'll sit there firing at you for days. So you might have to throw something at the rat. But as you can see, this rat is indeed enchanted. That rat will just run away from you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chase him into this corner. And miss, because the animation on that thing is so terribly slow. And now, before this rat kills me... where is it? There it is. Alright, now that we got all the combat done, we're going to come back here. Oh my gosh, and there's more rats! I think these are the last two in the entire level that actually jump out of boxes at you. Ooh. Ooh, I can see an item down there. Look at that. This place is huge. Man, we're going to have to cross there, and there's going to be some giant enemy. But yeah, this game makes you terrified of certain things. And this zone had to be created by somebody different than the rest. Like, you know, like the intern, per se, or like the most experienced Demon Souls player was like, hey, why don't we set up an entire level where there's non-stop traps everywhere, like little tricks. Ooh, and there's a rat. Now, rats will generally run away from you, so you do have to sprint to catch up to them and kill them. And what this one will do is he'll actually run and go across that waterfall there. And clearly, since the water is going down, that means we can fall, so we don't want to fall just yet. Still a few last things to collect. Over here we have another blob, but this one will always be on the ground. As you can see, a jumping attack barely even phases this guy for 54 damage. I think these things have 160 life, if I'm not mistaken. You can add up the numbers there and find out for yourself. But so again, you see the item. There is a pitfall again. That one is not so obvious. So, we're actually going to go back all the way to this last hallway. Make a left. Make a left again. And there is another rat for us to kill. What? And we get a soul of a nameless soldier. So there's that pit again, and now we can come up this way to where that item is. Oh my gosh, but there's the giant rat! Now, thankfully, his auto-targeting there was terrible. But that rat is actually a very formidable opponent, and he's very fast. So rather than show him off the legit way, we're going to do some backtracking. I'm really sorry to put you guys through this, but you will see there is a much better, faster, cleaner way of killing him. Now, why would I go this way if there's a better, faster, cleaner way of killing him? This Chancellor is what? You want to kill this Chancellor at all costs. He doesn't, well, not at all costs, but you definitely want to make sure to kill that Chancellor. That Chancellor, in the boss battle of this area, will actually attack you if you're not careful. What to say? What the heck? Is he alive? Jesus. But we also got the sewer chamber key or something like that, so I'm going to backtrack all the way up here. Boxing! And even though you can see him here, you can't shoot arrows or anything at him. And can you see that? He has an axe in his eye. Look at that. There is a battle axe lodged into his eye. Alright, so anyways, we're going to come up here, and in here is actually a bonfire. Now, normally you should rest at this, and I do have 9,000 souls, so I should level up. However, I'm not going to. I'm just going to light it and leave it. And I'm probably going to regret that later, but there's some shortcuts that I can activate. Sorry, this bodysuit of armor is like glowing just above my like waistline, and it distracted me. So you guys are noticing I'm basically retracing my steps all the way back up to the beginning of the level. I could have shown off the shortcut, but I didn't want people missing out on the entire level. And there's a bunch of traps and blah 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 that are a lot of fun. However, if you are a true Dark Souls / Demon Souls player, you should always investigate thoroughly. We are all the way back in the room where we found that first butcher, and he's actually not guarding that treasure chest, he's guarding this doorway. This doorway, we're going to jump down, and now we are above the giant rat. Now there is one treasure to collect above him, so we are going to do that. And we get the spider shield. Now he is an idiot. He's going to stand in the center of the room. So what I encourage is, line up a plunging attack. And I forgot that there is this in the way. So you kind of have to do it from an angle. But do a plunging attack, and you won't always one-shot him. But your plunging attack should do enough damage that half of his life is gone. And as I said, he is a formidable enemy, so you don't want to just charge him recklessly. So we got a humanity from him and a nameless soldier soul, which is a bit ironic. Now there's two things that you can do here. Well, actually, there's about 5 things. Number one is we could do a little bit of backtracking to these little hallways. And as you remember, there were some holes that we could jump down. The holes will both lead you to the same place, and we're going to be going to that same place. But they're... I don't want to say they're a trap, but there is a higher potential for you to die that way. The third way, and probably the safest way for you to go, is to go down this waterfall. It is, again, probably the safest way to go, but I'm going to be showing off the biggest shortcut in this level. So you would kill that man-eater, that butcher, come down here, kill this guy, and then if you hug this left wall, and you slide down, instead of falling down there into the waterfall, you slide down into this room. Now this room is not the boss chamber, but it is right outside the boss room. We are extremely close to the boss room. So again, you actually want to look around, and there is another slime hanging on the ceiling, and there's 2 on the ground that you want to be careful of as well. But these things actually don't do a whole lot of damage. Oh my goodness, where the heck did you come from? You scared the hell out of me. Jeez, I was not expecting him. Hopefully somebody else was terrified as much as I was about that. There we go. And none of them dropped an item. Now where this rat actually came from was over here. Now, normally if you fall down that waterfall, so we're going to keep in mind that's on our left-hand side. There's a bunch of rats that guard this stairwell. I actually hate rats, because that jumping attack they do will actually knock you out of your poise, no matter what. It's always like a little bit of a knockback / stun on you. Alright, so nothing in that little cubby. Gonna come over here and kill the rat. And nope, we're done with rats jumping out of boxes, so we're safe. But where the waterfall would drop you off at is right here. And you'll be a little bit confused because you'll want to know which way to go. So, ooh, Dark Knight Kirk has invaded. Now this is actually an NP... Oh shit. Why are you attacking me? You go away. Dark Knight Kirk will invade you in certain levels in this game. but he's not very good. Now, he is called the Knight of Thorns, and what he's playing with is called the Straight Barb Sword, which will do bleeding damage to you. And it's a pretty short sword, although his entire gear equipment looks pretty awesome. I've actually never let him just go to town on me. Again, he's not a very good invader. And ladies and gentlemen, remember, whenever you defeat an enemy in battle, you should always bow. But Dark Knight Kirk is a Red Phantom NPC, and he will actually invade you throughout your Let's Play, or throughout your gameplay. Now, when you get invaded, remember, I'm playing in offline mode, so this game is actually smart enough to have NPCs to invade you. He'll just come straight at you and try to kill you. Most of the NPCs in this game, not too challenging. Now, that thing that attacked me, which I didn't really pay much attention to, and I just kind of killed it off fast, there's a reason behind that. That's what attacked me. Now, these things are extremely weak to every type of weapon damage, and they have a giant flaw to them. And that is, they actually can't hurt you. He can do 0 physical damage to me, ever. So, as you see, he's going to spray me. And there you'll see... Okay. Need for you to hit me with that spray. What the heck? Now he can't hit me? I'm standing still and he can't hit me. There we go. We get a curse modifier. Now, curse, even though it doesn't hurt you, it can, once that gauge fully fills up, instantly kill you. So curse resistance is here, and curse resistance is based off of your humanity. There are armor types in the game that will give you curse resistance. Honestly, I don't think it's worth to invest in curse resistance. Just get humanity, and you should be fine. Maybe in New Game Pluses, maybe that becomes more of an issue. But these enemies have 0 poise to them. So the moment you attack them, their spraying will be interrupted. That's really, that jumping attack there, is really the only one you actually have to be careful of. But as he comes up... Okay, I missed my kick. Let's try that again. But as he charges up, you can kick him and it will stop his breath attack. You can hit him and it will stop his breath attack. These things shouldn't be very challenging. Not to say that they can't catch you off guard. Like that one down there will try to take a cheap shot at you. But they should not be a very feared thing. So first things first, we're going to come up here, and again, there is a hole, but there's an item over there. Now the only way to get to it is to do a running jump. Ta-da! And we get a humanity. And now we're going to intentionally fall down the hole. Now, we don't want to go that way. If you fall down the hole, look for the iron bars. And if you find the iron bar... Well, hello! Jeez, I'm getting all sorts of surprises in this Let's Play. If you find the iron bars, you will find a ring called the Evil Eye Ring. This Evil Eye Ring is actually a very disappointing ring, but I will be showcasing it. You absorb HP from fallen enemies. In your first playthrough of the game, it is 30 HP per kill. Now, that's not going to seem like a whole lot, but if you're a smart player, if you're a very defensive player, and you don't take a lot of damage, and you get lots of kills without taking much damage, you can basically sustain yourself a very long time with said ring. I say it's only a first playthrough because even by like the middle of the first playthrough or the end of the first playthrough, this ring is going to become obsolete. Now, if you guys remember that there was some holes that I was showing off in a hallway earlier, I don't think you can see it. Alright, you can't. One of the holes, and it's basically the first hole that's probably the most obvious, will drop you off here. So you'll see that item, you'll drop down here and lose half your health, you'll round the corner and there's 3 basilisks just waiting for you. Those 3 could potentially kill you, because all 3 of them spraying mist at you, and since you don't know what to do, you'll probably hold up your shield and run away, and they'll just sit there spraying you with mist, and it will curse you to death. So, should you fall down, just remember, don't worry about healing yourself. These things cannot do any damage to you whatsoever. They do 0 damage always. Maybe if they jump, they might do like 3 damage to you when they hit you, but that's 3 damage. So now that we have fallen through the bottom here, now I'm going to guide you out very slowly. That way the whole area makes sense. And Dark Knight Kirk, he does have limitations. He should only invade you when you're human. You have not defeated this area boss yet. And once you cross around this area, I normally will sit here and run around in a circle until he invades me. I was actually really surprised when he invaded me from the waterfall over here. I was really shocked. But if you're also curious about where he spawns, the moment you hear it, he will spawn right here on this platform every time. So if you're co-oping this area, just stand here on this ledge and wait for your host. Like, you know, if you get separated from your host, or if you use my shortcuts to get down here, just stand here waiting, and then when Dark Knight Kirk invades, he'll show up here, and you can just instantly start attacking. Alright, so back to my shortcut, which, if you remember, when you're coming down from this waterfall, stick to that left-hand side, and you'll end up in this room. There's 3 blob creatures, 2 of them will be on the ground, 1 is up in the air. And then last but not least, there's 2 rats. 1 here and 1 here. But there's some other things I need to do first, because down that way is the boss chamber.
Aye, Shemai. And good day to you. I'm Donald of Xena. I'm just a peddler of sorts. I adore trinkets and oddities, so I trade for them. I'm afraid I don't see anything here.
Now, I actually really like Domhnall. He does sell you, he can sell you up to 3 gold pine resins. I'm not going to buy them because they are a bit expensive, or at least expensive for me doing a playthrough when I can't even use them on my Black Knight Greatsword. So, not going to bother. He does sell you crystal weapons. Now, here's the thing you're going to notice about the crystal weapons. This crystal straight sword is doing 150 damage, and has decent stat scaling, you know, C and C, so it's doing an extra 65 damage. The price is a little heavy, but obviously that damage increase is huge. The durability is low. That is one huge key point you need to note. And the weight is not much better. 6 pounds for that sword, kinda heavy. The Crystal Greatsword does 190 damage plus 83. Little bit better stat scaling, kind of heavy parameter requirements, but again, only 60 durability for 6,000 souls. And then there's the shield, and now this shield's actually quite amazing. This is probably the only thing in the set I will highly encourage people to get, and that's because it has 250 durability. And then look at the defenses here, 100, 60, 80, 80, stability 60. Very impressive shield. Now, why is my personal character not buying these 3 items? Well, if you press square and read, as it cannot be repaired. Crystal weapons in this game cannot be repaired. Eventually you can custom make your own crystal weapons, and crystal weapons basically, they're just going to do increased damage. They won't always look like these. These are 3 specific items that get a crystal shaping to them. But even though they do a lot of increased stats and damage, they They cost a bit of money. In later playthroughs, they're not that expensive. The Crystal Shield is very worth getting. I will encourage that. If you don't parry a lot, if you just want a good, decent shield that's only £5, this Crystal Shield will last you a very long time. We're going to come over here to his armor sets, because he does sell his armor set. Now, his armor set is kind of like one of those medium armor sets. It's not amazing. It's not bad. It's somewhere in the middle. I really don't know what to make of it. I've looked at it a few times. There's nothing special about it. There's nothing bad about it. The weight on it's actually pretty low now that I look at it. I'm not a big fan of it, so I will not be using it. And as you can see, it's a very expensive set. 12,000, 15,000, 10,000, 10,000. Way too expensive. I don't believe he sells you anything amazing here. But what we are going to do is, this wooden arrow is going to cost us 3 souls. We're going to buy a wooden arrow from him. As long as you purchase an item from him and then talk to him, he'll say something different.
Well, I'm certain we will make a good trade eventually. So I am willing to share some tips. If you see kindling in the catacombs, use divine weapons. That will repel the reassembling skeletons.
Very useful tip right there.
I'm afraid I don't see anything here.
Now, I don't know if he always does that, like if you always have to buy something from him in order for him to say something new.
I'm afraid I don't see
Okay, yeah,
anything
not
here.
always. So, unfortunately, farewell.
Thank you. That was a fine trade. I have this funny feeling we'll meet again soon. And we'll make another fine trade, of course.
I love that guy. As am I. Now, I did promise the boss chamber, but first, we're going to do one last piece of backtracking. And it's not that way. It's this way. So if you take that epic shortcut I showed you, you can unlock a very quick way to get to the bonfire, and probably the safest way to get to the bonfire. Because there is very few enemies that will stop you along the way. But you just come up here, climb up the ladder, climb up the stairs, and there will be this guy with the torch. You kill him, and walk right in. And even better is that when you open up the bonfire, walk down the stairs, fall down the ladder, walk down the stairs again, and the enemies in this room are actually incredibly slow, so you don't have to worry about them. And most of them won't aggro you. Like the rats will just kind of ignore you as you run past them. So, yep. Just walk right past them, no worries. And we'll come up here into this room. And again, we see an item down there, and I want that item. But I'm just going to show you the way directly to the boss. You can wander around on these ledges for a while. I don't think there's anything up here, yeah. A little disappointing. I always mean to do this when I'm co-oping, but I never think about it. But I always mean to like stake out these ledges and see if anything different happens. But, oh well, maybe I'll do it. I'll do a recording session where I go join somebody else's game just for that reason. But here we can see Night Solaire, so we must be at the boss's room. But first we're going to get this item, and guys, tune in next time to see what the boss is of this area. Thank you so much for watching, and ta-ta!